Hi, my name is Stuart, and welcome to Scrutiny, where I'll be scrutinizing many films today. Well, the first movie that we're going to be reviewing is The Heartbreak Kid, starring Ben Stiller, Malin Ackerman, and Jerry Stiller. Basically, this is the Farrelly brothers' new movie that they're directing. They're back to R-rated territory. I found the movie itself wasn't so great. It just felt like it was harping on the R rating, and that it was trying to be There's Something About Mary way too much. Malin Ackerman is a new actress. Her next movie is going to be Watchmen, coming out March of 2009, the superhero movie. And I just felt she was irritating. I felt Ben Stiller was looking his age. It's the same shtick over and over again. And it was kind of awkward to have Jerry Stiller, the character in the movie, as the best friend character. It was kind of weird. I just didn't like the movie. I would say on a scale of 1 to 4, I'd give the movie 1.5. The Heartbreak Kid, you've been scrutinized. The next movie we're reviewing is We Own the Night, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Wahlberg and the always talented Robert Duvall. And don't forget, eye candy, Eva Mendes. Okay, well, this movie is about two brothers. One brother owns a nightclub. The other brother is a cop. And it is the drug world, basically, undercover for a drug lord, and there's this twists and turns with the brothers and the father. And it was a so-so movie, very typical, with a really good car chase scene. On a scale of 1 to 4, I would give it 2.5. You've been scrutinized. We Own the Night. The next movie we'll be reviewing is Things We Lost in the Fire, starring Benicio del Toro and Halle Berry. This movie was an entertaining movie. It basically is about how Halle Berry, she is married to a man, David Duchovny. David Duchovny finds a guy beating up his wife. He backs him off from beating up the wife. He gets killed in the process. Halle Berry copes with it. Benicio del Toro, David Duchovny's best friend, who is a drug addict, comes to his funeral, and Halle Berry sees him at the funeral, and they become really good friends. She tries to get him off this heroin and drug habit that he has, and it's basically a story where she's trying to help him, he struggles, he goes through the struggle, and she's helping him out. Really interesting, really good character development by Benicio del Toro. Halle Berry was acceptable. And I thought it was a good movie. On a scale of 1 to 4, I'd give it a 3 stars. The next movie that we'll be reviewing is Gone Baby Gone, directed by Ben Affleck. That's Ben Affleck. And written by Dennis Lehan, the same guy who wrote Mystic River. That's right, the Mystic River. It stars Casey Affleck, Michelle Monaghan, Ed Harris, and the always great Morgan Freeman. Basically, this is a movie about two private investigators, played by Casey Affleck and Michelle Monaghan, who are hired by, I think it was her aunt, of a child who was kidnapped. It's all over the news, and they hired the private investigators to look into it. It's lots of twists and turns, like any good Lehan written novel. It's just a really good movie. I don't want to give away too much. It's like butter. It's so good. Every act upon act. It's just so good, and you need to just go see the movie. Just go see Gone Baby Gone. On a scale of 1 to 4, I'd give it 3.5. This movie is so good. Go see it, and go see it now. Next up, Reservation Road, directed by Terry George. Terry George directed Hotel Rwanda, and he got Oscar nominated for it. Now, Reservation Road, he will definitely not get Oscar nominated. This movie was just an average movie with bad acting, bad editing, and a so-so plot. Basically, his son, Joaquin Phoenix's son, is hit by a car on the way back from a Red Sox playoff game. It's a hit and run. Mark Ruffalo hit and ran. Jennifer Connelly, she overacted. And the editing was horrible. Whenever you see a boom pole twice in a movie, and a copyright symbol for the wrong year, it's just a so-so movie. Well, it's usually a bad movie, but this movie had decent performances, which made it a so-so movie. 2.5 out of 4. Reservation Road. You've been scrutinized. Next film that I will be reviewing is Dan in Real Life, starring Steve Carell, not Dan Carroll, and Juliette Binoche. This movie, yeah, it did stuff a little bit differently, but the heart of it was very mainstream. Steve Carell is going to a holiday dinner at Thanksgiving. He stops off at a coffee shop to get a bookstore to look for a book. He finds Juliette Binoche in there, who they get a little love interest there. They go to a coffee shop, and they fall for each other. And she has to go her way. He has to go his way. She has a boyfriend, and he's looking for love with his. He's somebody to replace his wife. Lo and behold, they both end up at the same dinner. He finds out that Juliette Binoche's boyfriend is Steve Carell's brother, played by Dane Cook, and it's a love triangle. It's a comedy drama. I felt that the movie lacked a little bit of intensity. I really didn't like this film. I felt it wasn't really that great. I was very disappointed by Peter Hedges. I loved What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He wrote What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He also got Oscar nominated for About a Boy. Very disappointed. I felt What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a much better movie. On a scale of 1 to 4, I'd give it 1 star. Dan in Real Life, you've been scrutinized. The next movie I'll be reviewing is the wannabe Lifetime movie, Rails and Ties, starring Kevin Bacon, Marcia Gay Harden. Yes, the Marcia Gay Harden. Marcia Gay Harden. Okay, so this movie was a Lifetime movie. Basically, this woman is dying of a disease. She lives with her kid. She goes into a car. She wants to commit suicide by having the train hit the car. The train hits the car as the kid is rushing to get the mom to wake up. The kid survives because he's not hit by the train. He blames the conductor, played by Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon! Then the kid lives with the Kevin Bacon and Marcia Gay Harden, who's dying of cancer. Lifetime movie alert. And it's just a crappy movie. On a scale of 1 to 4, I give it 1 star. Rails and Ties, you've been scrutinized. Kevin Bacon! Next up is the movie Michael Clayton. Kevin Bacon! No, George Clooney. This movie was not so great. Everybody loves this movie. I thought it was just a blah movie. I like all George Clooney movies. It's very blah. You have a case where the guy that goes nutso by Tom Wilkinson, this big case, and it's just good acting by Tom Wilkinson, good acting by Tilda Swinton, Kevin Bacon, and George Clooney, not Kevin Bacon. Just is not a good actor. Something terrible happens to him, and I'm not going to give it away. And he just doesn't react very well. I think, I don't understand what the hoopla is. I think if it was casted with a guy like Tom Cruise, or a guy like Brad Pitt, or even a guy like Kevin Bacon, it would have been a better movie. But this movie on a scale of 1 to 4, I'd give it 2 stars. Michael Clayton, you've been scrutinized. The next movie that we are reviewing is Lions for Lambs, starring Tom Cruise, Robert Redford, and the lovely Meryl Streep. Because I enjoyed it. It was a political statement, and I usually don't like those movies, but I thought it was very well done. The characters were very intriguing and very convincing arguments. It's basically saying how the world wants to take a step back from the war in Iraq and just anything like entertainment. They don't want to take a stand also. And this movie was a very entertaining film. I think everybody did a good job. I got some bad reviews. I don't understand why. It was an entertaining film. And as usual, Tom Cruise was good in it. And 1 to 4, I'd give it 3 stars. It was an entertaining film. American Gangster, starring Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe. This movie was a good movie. Everybody's seen it. Everybody likes it. It's a gangster movie. It's well done. It's directed by future Academy Award winner Ridley Scott. 3 stars out of 4. I hope you enjoyed Screen Scrutiny starring Stuart, myself. And hopefully Jefferson will let me back on his show really soon, because I look forward to hearing from you and talking to you.